May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be always acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Would you please be seated? Well, we've actually just come this Sunday, it's really to the cusp of a tribute in our church. A mini season, really, of holy days over All Hallows time. So we have All Souls Day. Sorry, yes, that's right. I get these mucked around all the time. I believe possibly All Saints Day, and then we have All Hallows Eve. Usually a vigil is held at night time for All Hallows Eve. All Souls Day is a time where we remember those who have passed, our dead in our families, those who have passed throughout the church. And different celebrations are held there. And as I said, All Hallows Eve. And then we have All Saints Day as well, just before All Souls Day, actually. So what we do here, and in many other Protestant traditions at times, Reformed traditions, and depending on the style of your church, is we kind of celebrate them all on the one Sunday. Right? We didn't have services for each of those days here at Freshwater, but we remember those, and they're important times in our calendars. So you'd all be aware of Halloween, which has happened as well around this time? Yep. Maybe you're not. You didn't know it happened. A bit of a spoiler for your pew sheets, if you haven't read them already. Halloween is a Christian word that was first used by Scottish Christians. And if you look back in prayer books, just before the 50s, you'll see written in there Halloween. Now, it's written slightly differently, spelled the same, but between the two E's there's a bit of a comma. Halloween. But that word gained prominence and was used first by Scottish Christians. And there's the history of Halloween is hotly contested, of course, by different scholars. There is a Druid connection to it, and the Celtic region, Samhain. Now, most scholars now believe and argue that wasn't a religious festival for them. It was actually a warrior festival, so it was when they celebrated their warriors coming back from battle that they would celebrate at that time. And what the reason some argue that the Triduum of our holy days was placed at a similar time to that festival was to ease the conversion of the Celts. Now, this is quite common throughout Christian history. We see Christian holidays being placed on holidays of other religious communities. It's not so much sinister. The thought process was, if we do that, then we can ease the conversion of those people and keep their holidays so they take on Christian meaning and Christian tradition. Fast forward to today, and it's a hodgepodge of a million different things, right? Secular and religious, very commercialised Halloween we have. It's only really starting to take off, I think, in Australia. I might be wrong about that. But we had a whole lot of kids come around our house, and the costumes are from, just every possible thing you could imagine. We're not here to talk about Halloween. We're here to talk about All Saints Day. And All Souls Day. So this is a time where we remember all of those saints in the church who have gone before us. A great cloud of witnesses, which is around us all the time. Those people who gave their life for the faith. They loved Christ, followed Christ, and give us great inspiration. But it's also a time for us to celebrate the saints that are with us now in the church. The saints that worship with us every Sunday. Paul called believers, Paul called those people who are part of the early community of the way, the saints. We're all saints in Christ. It's a time, yes, of remembering those people who went before us. Maybe we had a saint that inspires us, like St. Francis. We recently had St. Francis Day, and it's good to think of the way they inspire us. But it's also good to celebrate that we get to come together and worship God every Sunday and every day in between. So what do we get from our readings this morning? Well, from that beautifully read epistle, I don't know about you, but it speaks to me of the supreme authority of Jesus. It's incredible, amazing thing. This Lord who was above all others, above all earthly kings, above any other kind of divine things that you can think out. Jesus is Lord over all. Reminds us of the great authority of Christ. What a beautiful thing to remind us of. What a wonderful thing for us to proclaim to the world today. That should give us an incredible hope. Why? Well, all we have to do is look at his life and his teaching. But especially the gospel we have today, the Beatitudes. That's a bit of a revolutionary teaching, isn't it? It's a bit different in Luke to what it is in Matthew. We have two different accounts of the Beatitudes, and they differ in quite fundamental ways. The first one we get this morning is, "Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of heaven." Do any of you remember what it says in Matthew about that? There's a slight difference there. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Now that might seem like a small thing, but it's actually quite big. Because the Greek word being used in Luke is very clearly the poor, the ones we would see as poor, those who have no money, those who have no means to look after themselves. Blessed are they. Blessed are the poor. Not the poor in spirit. Now that would have been in itself quite confusing, a bit off-centering for the people of Jesus' day. Because those who were wealthy, it was believed by many, were wealthy because God blessed them with that wealth. Jesus says, "No, blessed are the poor, for you know what? Theirs is the kingdom of heaven." What a teaching. Isn't that incredible? But he continues on. Blessed are the poor. Blessed are those who are hungry now, for you will be filled. Blessed are you who weep now, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when people hate you, when they exclude you, when they revile you, when they defame you on account of the Son of Man. Rejoice and leap for joy in that day, for surely your reward is great in heaven. But that's what their ancestors did to the prophets. Again, there's a slight difference there in Matthew. It says, "Blessed are you when people hate you, revile you, for righteousness' sake." And say that again, so account of the Son of Man. So that's beautiful teaching. Jesus has all authority. Jesus is our authority. He's the one that we follow. Let's take note that the ones that he's saying are blessed. Were there any prerequisites there? Did you hear any "blessed are you who are poor if you do this"? No. Blessed are you who are hungry if you do this. Blessed are you who are weak if you say these words. Just blessed. Jesus always goes to those who are outcasts. Jesus goes to those who are seemingly at their worst. Jesus speaks to those who are not accepted. Jesus offers love to those who feel unloved. And he promises them the freedom, the grace, the mercy, the goodness of his love. So we can celebrate that. But that's not where it stops. But woe to you who are rich, you've received your consolation. Woe to you who are full now, you will be hungry. Woe to you who are laughing now, for you will mourn and weep. Woe to you when all speak well of him, for that is what their ancestors did to the false prophets. Bit of a challenge there? I don't think Jesus is saying something as simple as woe to you when people speak well of you. You know, the saying, the worst thing somebody can give to you is a good reputation. Because then you've got to live up to that good reputation. Yes. The best thing people can do for you is defame you, right? And say, oh, you know, this guy's horrible. He thinks the wrong thing. Because then you haven't got much to live up to. You just got to present yourself the way you are. But do you think we're the poor? Here in Australia? No. I don't know if we are. I don't think we're the rich. Maybe there's a little bit of a challenge there for us. How do we operate as Christian people in a world where we have so much in this country, we have so much really in Western societies? How do we then express this incredible love of God to the poor, who may not even be in our societies or in our countries? Of course, we need to go to the poor who are on our doorstep, those who are struggling. That's why we do that through food care and things at Freshwater. But how do we extend that out? Because remember, Jesus told us to go and make disciples of all nations. It means to push it out. How do we then think of those throughout the world who do not have anywhere near as much as we do in this? Something for us to think about or ponder. How do we live that out in our lives? And the rest of the woes, you know, he's talking about those in his community who are doing those things to the ones he's just called blessed. The ones he's just said the kingdom of heaven belongs to. The ones keeping others down. Using their power to make sure these people stay in their place and these ones stay where they are. There's a lesson for us in that also. So when it comes to All Souls Day, I think it's important for us to look at those who have inspired us, but we need to look at each other. See the saintliness in each one of our faces when we see each other. Remember that we're loved, we're wanted, we are accepted by God. Jesus has given us an incredible gift of welcome, a continued assurance of his love through Scripture, through prayer, through how we greet each other. It's part of our duty to offer that to others. To live that grace, not just on Sundays, not just by expressing how wonderful we are or how we have the right ideas and other people don't. Not by saying, if you don't, you can't be, but by saying, come, join us. We'd love to show you this gift that we've been given. And freely give that gift to you. What is yours? So as we leave this morning, let us pay attention to those woes. See how that challenges us in our lives. Let us remember the epistle that was read to us this morning about the authority of Christ, the authority of Jesus. Everything we do, everything we say, everything we learn about our faith journey should be focused in on Jesus' life, Jesus' teaching, and what he did and how he expressed them. And let us take into our hearts those incredible blessings and the truth that we're all saints of the church, surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, in order to go out into the world and offer this grace to each and every one that we come across. In the name of God, the Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Amen.